host experiences for you. And for those of you who don't know me, I do know many of you, but for those of you who do not know me, I've worked with the Global Wellness Summit for a very long time, and in fact have been involved with the summit since its inception. Opportunity to transform, and I love putting together experiences before and after the summit, because I know for me personally, when I travel somewhere, I want to experience more than a conference. Even though the Global Wellness Summit is not just any old conference, I want to be able to go and see what's going on and have a deeper experience. So today, John Stanton is joining us, and he's going to tell us a lot more about. Set this up. Kate has some photos that we can show, and we're going to do this as sort of you're going to tell us a few things, and I'm going to ask you a few questions, and hopefully in the course of this we will cover just about all the information that people want to know and why they should join us in Bali for the Chōsen experience. So let me introduce John Stanton.
Hi guys, great to meet everyone. We're a huge fan. Inclusive of last year's huge event. So we're really excited to be working with you guys this year. We're doing the pre-events in Hong Kong, and we'll be doing one of the post-events in Bali, which is one of our hubs, or say Asia headquarters for Chōsen. Are we chatting about the pre-events?
Chōsen life optimization experience. I think that the full and half day Hong Kong experiences we'll save for another time.
Amazing, great. So the way that the Chōsen experience is designed, we've been in operation since 2013, and it was a passion project to begin with. Basically, our venture capitalists who were former athletes, emphasis on the former, and we hit a place in our professional lives, like probably very many of you, where we found that we were shifting in mindset from the pursuit of just success for success sake to the concept of significance and the impact we can make on the world and how the world impacts us. And the way that we decided to move forward with an experience and a program was actually very much tied to how we had designed our passion-driven venture capital business, which was in sustainability and clean technologies to save the planet for the humans. And so from the very inception of Chōsen, when we put together the team that actually crafted this program, have on high-performing people, on people that are in inflection points in their lives and wanted to be brought to or through that inflection point to actually be able to implement both self-care, and that's the term that we use for functional wellness, actually wellness that makes an impact on you on a daily basis, plus the concept of courage and exploration. So making a change or making a jump, say emotionally or intellectually in your life, often takes a very special type of courage. And so the entire program is designed to guide you through that process whilst instilling a lot of very advanced but easy to implement wellness knowledge and information.
A few questions, John, because that all sounds great, and you're probably not used to my moderating skills, but I like to ask questions that, explain what you just said, make that, translatable to a Global Wellness Summit delegate, and why we should go on the Chōsen experience in Bali. I mean, that all sounded great, but tell me what I'm going to experience, and tell me, is it for someone like me who exercises a few times a week, but I would not necessarily come and identify myself as courageous?
So
I guess it's in the eye of the beholder.
The type of clientele that we have are actually people in a very specific mindset. And so if you look at our Instagram right now, there's a lot of adventurous and activity-based or movement-based activities. And if you just look at how humans learn by playing, and that's a hyper oversimplification. But what we do during an experience is actually get you into a mental state of receptivity to opening yourself up to learning more about yourself. And the way that we do that is through a physical and adventurous exploration of self. And those are, of course, jargon terms within the wellness industry. So I can be more specific. We will be actually moving once or twice a day, but in a way that is tailored specifically to the attendees who are with us. We oftentimes, you'll see in our on our website or on our social media that we have Olympic gold medalists on our programming team. That may sound intimidating, but what all of you're nodding your head, but what all of our Olympians, their feedback about the program is that it's not about overtraining or pushing yourself to exhaustion. It's actually the opposite. It's all about doing things that evoke this very specific emotional response. And how you get people to open up is you layer a lot of successes. And so what's really interesting to us as a company, as a group of wellness practitioners, and I'm talking about the team, I consider myself the founder and sometimes spokesperson. But what we're very careful to do is to show you that your bodies and your mind function at an extremely high level that you may or may not be in touch with anymore, because I myself, I'm 40 years old, but then at the same time, like, I'm feeling the aging process come on, and we get pulled in as a society just to accept it. Our bodies are amazing, and it's connected to our minds, and the way that we actually absorb information is actually.
Cut you off, but I do want everyone who's listening to this. So we're going to come to the summit, and if we choose the Chōsen experience, bring this to life for me. What happened? What happens there?
So one of the interesting things is that, and I think we've talked about this before, is you don't get the itinerary for the next day until the day before. So on Thursday, or say it's Monday, you won't know what's happening on Thursday. Part of that is to actually purposefully put you in the moment and quiet, call it the monkey brain, of asking all these questions, et cetera. What's going on in the future, et cetera.
Like I'm doing now.
However, the people on this podcast or this media session, basically every single day is paired. The activities are paired specifically with your circadian rhythms and your stress cycle, right? So when you wake up in the morning, there are going to be very specific activities that ease you into the day. And a lot of you guys are you have your morning routines, and you know what I'm talking about, where you take care of yourself and then you start into what's going on in the day. So we have an ease into the day on purpose, specifically because of how your circadian rhythms work, how your stress cycle, your cortisol cycle works, et cetera. And then on the day, there will either be a movement activity, and mind you, I'm saying this in a slightly vague way because we will tailor this specific to the group. So if we have a group of insane weightlifting athletes, we won't do any weightlifting. If we have a group of hikers, we won't do any hiking. We'll actually do things that actually put you to where you will learn about your body and about movement every single day. And so in the morning, there's usually an activity, be it water or land-based or beach-based, with practitioners that are at a really high level that will be able to actually construct a program for you to either do a beach workout or do a swim with an Olympian or do animal movements that are lateral movements, et cetera, but in a way that you're actually learning the steps and implementing what we call the Chōsen PPI, where you're present, you have
Present purpose integrity. We have a question, John.
Perfect.
So the question is, can you explain where this is happening, and more specifically, not only the country, but the question is this at a resort? Where are we now?
Perfect.
So,
Yeah. And this will go back to a couple of the itinerary items that I'm just leak out slowly through the conversation. The experience, particularly the one in Bali, is Bali, Indonesia. It is a beautiful, very diverse tropical island near the equator. That makes for amazing sunrises and amazing sunsets. It also means that we are about an hour northwest of the airport, where a lot of the airport and the areas surrounding the airport in Bali, Denpasar, are very touristy and away from that area where we have access to black sand beaches, amazing rice fields, incredible food from farms that are in the mountains or on the way to the mountains, where we source 100% of our organic veggies that we've actually been working with farmers over the last 6 years to help cultivate and create a system to actually feed humans. It also means that within a short drive, we have access to some incredible tropical rainforests and canyons and mega waterfalls and really interesting adventurous activities, which is part of the itinerary. So to preempt a question about it, we do have a couple of days of adventurous exploration. One of the days is a full day in the rainforest through the canyons. And like I've already alluded to a couple of times, every activity that we do, whether or not it's a yoga session or whether or not it's a movement session or even a meal, has a purpose, and it has a learning purpose behind it. So even a full day adventure in the rainforest, in the mountains, away from the beach, will have very specific canyoning or abseiling or mountaineering skills that you'll be lawyer or CEO or whatever it is that you do with your day-to-day life.
So, John, one of the things I want to point out at this point is that of all of the pre and post summit experiences that we've curated, what's different about Chōsen is a program that is created that takes place in different parts of the world. To the delegates for the summit this year happens to be the Chōsen experience that will take place in Bali in a private location, not a resort. So to contrast that, we have a post-summit trip to Kamalaya, which is a full immersion wellness resort, let's say, and Sangha, which is also a full immersion wellness resort. They're physical structures. What you all do is you bring everything together in a location, and this location happens to be Bali, but there are times where it's in other places. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. And okay. So a couple of things. We're not at a resort. The resorts that you talked about are actually stunning, beautiful. Immersive.
And I wouldn't actually even use the term resort, but I'm just doing it I would use the term destination spa or immersion wellness experience. But yes, but they're physical structures. Yeah.
Exactly. Physical structures. The facilities that we're using, we've been there for a few years, and it private property that is exclusive for this purpose.
So during this post-summit trip, there will be no one else there but the delegates from the Global Wellness Summit. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so that's important to note that this is a very private and exclusive experience, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe only 10 people can attend this, 10 or 15. I know it's a very limited number, so that you deliver, whatever the number is, so that you can deliver this optimized experience for each individual.
Precisely, yeah. And so that's the theme that we have in every destination. Some destinations are a little larger. For instance, in New Zealand, where we'll be, where we run our Living with Impact program in August, the capacity is 20 people, and it's a little bit larger.
Okay.
Similarly, in Iceland, for example, program there, also a Living with Impact program.
That's
We run it 20 people or so. Our Bali experience runs pretty consistently at between 10 and 14. I think we have 12
right.
spots total.
12 spots for the summit. Right. Right. So tell us a little bit more. I'm curious to know a little bit more about what we might eat when we're there.
Yeah, this is incredible. I can't brag enough about the food. Again, from the perspective of the effect that we're looking to have on you as an attendee. So we're very goal-oriented people, and we've had to reverse engineer everything. How do we get someone to a really receptive, open place where they feel safe taking risks and learning more about themselves, feel safe failing and being bad at stuff as you learn stuff? Well, I mean, let's just think like mom's home cooking, right? Food is an emotional experience. And the way that we've crafted the food is that it's perfectly paired with the activities that we're doing. And it's also perfectly paired with the same things that I was talking about before, your circadian rhythm, your cortisol cycles, et cetera. We're looking actually specifically to get you feeling amazing when you leave and showcasing that you can eat farm to table food, organic farms on the island, and any proteins that we have, animal proteins that we serve, are also sustainably sourced, which is extremely difficult to do in this part of the world. We're about 75% vegetable based, and we will be tailoring the menu specifically to the attendees. So we've already stripped out all major allergens. There won't be there's no processed flours, there's no processed sugars, etc. We're very mindful of the emotional impact that food has on you. And one of the big things is we take away any potential for chemicals, any potential for sugar spikes, etc. If you're vegan, our chef loves to cook vegan food, and we basically are 75% there. So the way that our clients have described it in the past, it's the best food they've ever eaten. And that's from the perspective of it makes you feel amazing, and while you're eating it, it makes you feel amazing.
And let's talk a little bit about what is included in this post-summit experience. It's a six-night journey, yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
And tell us a little bit more about what is included.
Well, the experience is 6 nights, 7 days, and that's also part of there's purpose to that. It takes about that time to actually start you on a process of change or implementation of things that you want to do differently in your life. Everything is included once you arrive in our care. And so that's a little bit different than other properties that you may go on. I'm not entirely certain what else is included in the other packages. Basically, you don't have to take your wallet out at all once you're with us. All transportation, all food, all accommodation, all body work, all experts, all consultations, in addition to everything that you have going on while you're here, which is amazing. There's goodie bags and all the things. You're kitted out. You're going to look like a superhero.
What do you mean kitted out? What does that mean?
You mean sorry, that's Australian for swag. Really American audience here. I apologize.
No, this is a global audience. This is people from all over, not everybody. Yeah.
So half the people on the call were like, "We know what kit is." The other half were like, "What is kit?" So part of it is, you get your swag, your kit, and everything else that you need for the experience.
Are you saying we don't have to bring to understand? Yes or no?
You basically need you do have a packing list, and it is basically movement attire. You don't have to worry about suits or anything else like that. We are very specific, but you will have things like Chōsen t-shirts, and we source our own non-toxic organic toiletries, etc. So basically any basic necessities
Oh.
are taken care of. Obviously, if you're like, putting in crazy serums for your eyes or whatever, like advanced stuff, you have to bring that yourself.
Do you
But
do
we take
laundry
care of,
for people?
yeah.
Do you do
What's
people's
that?
laundry?
Absolutely, yes. Yes,
do
we
your
do your laundry. Please don't show up with 14 tons of
Oh,
laundry.
from the summit.
logistically, logistically it's difficult to manage. But yes, we do your laundry. Literally everything is taken care of, but from the perspective, not from a luxury perspective, because even the concept of luxury, it's, when you meet me at the summit, you will hear me say this. I don't even like the word luxury because it denotes something that is unnecessary. And so everything that we provide within the program isn't about it being luxurious. It's about freeing up your mental space to actually allow you the time and space and the
Very luxurious, though, to be able to facilitate the clearing of space for those who arrive so that they can be open and present to what this purpose and intention of what will happen there is pretty luxurious. I mean, I suppose it's all definition, but I think that this sounds extraordinary. And I think all of that extraordinary.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like basically anything that we can do, and mind you, you have to, peel back to what I was saying before. We're global VCs when we started this. We hyper active business travelers with extremely, discerning tastes and everything. And a lot of our clients are like that. And a lot of you are like that. You travel a lot. When you walk into a place and you see a whole bunch of single-use plastics, you're like, oh my God, what am I doing here? All of that's stripped away. Like all of the little touches are there on purpose because, well, we're hyper attention to detail, slightly OCD people, but we're creating an environment so that you don't have to be, so that you are there to be present, to explore yourself. And you're, if you don't think you can let go of control, you're not going to explore.
So another question, tell me, because we have maybe about 6 or 7 minutes left, tell me about the body work that's included.
Absolutely. So we have a team of bodywork specialists that we've trained locally, which is one of the things that we're really proud of. Basically, our entire culinary team and our bodywork team, we've trained them to insane 5-star practitioner levels. And
uh-oh, John, you froze.
Are you there?
Yes, sorry, you froze for a moment after you've trained them to an amazing level.
Yes. And then we have specific rejuvenation's a sports therapy standard. And we have an osteo team that will actually analyze your body and look at what type of limitations you have and make actual recommendations from a professional, like heightened doctor level. And so there's 2 very different types of body work that we'll be getting during an experience with us.
Are any of those look like a massage?
Yeah, so I just use different words. So you'll get massages by highly, highly trained people, and you have proper osteo body work where someone is analyzing your body and seeing like, oh, wait a second, did you have an injury in your hips, or did you take a long flight? Okay, we need to have you do X, Y, and Z. So there's 2 different types. Amazing. The type of work that will actually, they can give advice on things that you'll need to do for your body when you go home to actually rejuvenate and maintain your health and well-being.
I love that.
Twofold.
So before we end this webinar, unless I see any other questions from anybody who has joined us, one last question for you, John.
Yeah.
Tell me something I should ask you. Tell me a question that I should be asking you.
Oh. Basically, I would, if I were you, I would ask what I would get out of an experience with Chōsen.
And so I'd love to hear the answer.
And so what I would, if I were me asking you, me, I would ask that, And then the answer is for you to explore your own personal courage, meaning that you're going to learn to jump. And if you don't already know how to jump, you're going to want to jump. And that means you're going to be at this inflection point, or you already are an inflection point, and you're going to want to maintain this momentum after you leave the Chōsen experience, which is really amazing, really special. Our clients call it the Chōsen. And relatedly, you get on top of the amazing community that you're already part of within the Global Wellness Summit and Global Wellness Institute, which we are very proud to be members of and very proud to be part of this experience, because you guys have been doing an amazing job for many years. Key to Chōsen is that you get a network and a community of people that think like you in the way that is, I want to be able to jump. I want to be able to approach things with calm. I want to be able to take care of myself. And as you know, it's difficult to find those people. And these are the people that you're going to be around during an experience with us, and then you have access to them moving forward. And that's key to the brand. And
this is really, I want to emphasize, as a person who's not 40 years old, I'm a little bit older than you are. This is an experience. Emphasize that, you know, I started off by saying, gosh, I don't know if I have the courage to do this. I think it sounds, you know, now I'm sitting here thinking I wish I could split myself into 3 parts so I could be on every single post summit. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to figure that out. So I won't be there this time, but I'm definitely going to be there someday. But this really is an experience, it sounds like, that can be accessible to anyone and provide tremendous growth and transformation and fun.
Is a very, very feisty 72-year-old who I consider a mentor now.
Wow, that's fabulous.
Incredible man. And then, you know, the youngest of the Chōsen community was 22, I think.
Wow.
When she attended, and she's now, you know, in grad school and just wreaking havoc on the world. And basically, as long as you are not sedentary, we have the team. You know, the people that work with us are amazing practitioners. You do get also to experience myself and my business partner, and we're, you know, mentors, VCs, we're public speakers and all the things. But really it's, you know, from our perspective, you'll learn more from the people that are there than even the ridiculous Olympians and practitioners and experts that we have with us and that you will also experience. So, yeah.
If anybody has any questions about the Chōsen Bali experience that's taking place after the summit, the dates are October 18th to the 24th. I believe I've got that correct. If I don't, you can check the website. You can email me, sally@mindbodyspiritnet.com. You can reach out to my colleague and partner, Chris Torgerson, and of course, anyone at the Global Wellness Summit. And we really look forward to seeing you guys in Hong Kong and hopefully some of you in Bali. So thank you, John, for joining us so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Light and love.